What's going on, everybody? Another huge win for our New York Mets, defeating the Atlanta Braves 4-0. Clutch hits towards the middle to the end of the game. Pete Alonso goes 3 for 4 RBI. McNeil eventually comes through after not coming through early. I'm glad to see the bats up and down the lineup. Mauricio, a bunch of hard hits. Everybody contributed today. Now, there are some negatives that we'll get to in just a minute, but I am so stoked, sole possession of first place, right where we belong. Think about this. Just a week ago, I'm screaming, you're screaming, the world is screaming that the sky is falling, getting destroyed by the Braves and the Phillies. You split the series here. Shout out to Austin Warren. 2 1/3 innings of one hit ball, 0 runs, and Daniil Nunez looks like him old self, dialing it up 98, 99 miles an hour. 2 innings pitch, 4 strikeouts, 0 hits. Ryan Stanek, I'm not going to lie here, people, and I know you guys probably had a little bit of a gasp as well, but Ryan Stanek with the lights out 8th inning, 1 inning, 1 hit, 0 runs, and obviously Diaz comes in to shut the door. I'm glad to see Mendoza went to his high leverage, regardless of being up 4 runs. It's something that we needed to do. Now let's address the ugly really quick. We all saw the Griffin Canning thing. The New York Mets are calling it an ankle. We all know that ain't a good look. As a Brooklyn Nets fan, I watched it happen to Kevin Durant. We just seen it happen to Tyrese Halliburton in the finals as well. For me, and I'm no doctor, if I had to make my best guess, that looked like an Achilles injury to me. Of course, the Mets get hit with that as Montas comes back. Manaya's about to come back. And of course, Canning, who's actually pitching a pretty damn good game, as they're showing it right now on SNY as I'm watching it right below the camera feed. He goes down. It just looked brutal. I'm hoping that it's not the case, but I think we're fairly certain that he's going to be done for the year as they show these highlights. Pete with the big hit, Daniil Nunez. I love watching these highlights. You watched him give out that gas at the end of that clutch 7th inning. The Braves are no joke. They were all ahead. You know what I mean? They had their entire lineup. There is nothing to talk about. But again, it's about the Mets getting hits, just not 1 through 5. Lindor 1 for 4, Nimmo 1 for 4, Soto 1 for 3, 2 runs and a walk on base 4 times again, as that OPS on base continues to stay above 500 in the month of June. Alonso 3 for 4, 1 run, one of those clutch RBIs. McNeil 1 for 3 with the big two 2 RBI single, that bloop single over shortstop. Taylor and Torrens are the only ones that went hitless. Beatty 1 for 3 and a walk, so he's on base 2 out of 4 times, raising his on base percentage. And then you have Mauricio 1 for 4. And let's be honest, that last hit by Mauricio, if the wind's not blowing in 100 miles an hour like it was today, that is probably a home run. So good signs from Mauricio. People continue to hit the ball hard. Hold on one second. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. And I gotta say this too. One thing I'm glad, and we all thought it was gonna happen. The other night, last week, we had the 7 home run game, and then we get blanked the next day. You lit up the Braves yesterday, and the big scare was that the Mets were not gonna hit today. And who would have thought that? Look how many innings we got out of our bullpen. Canning goes 2 2/3, Warren 2 1/3, Nunez two innings, Stanek 2 innings, Diaz 1 inning. Unbelievable. This was a team-oriented win. Let's get to some of your comments really quickly. But guys, again, if you're enjoying this content, all I do is ask you to hit that like button. Maybe consider becoming a member of the show, either on YouTube or on Facebook. It's the best way to show your support. That you get some exclusive perks when it comes to being a member. We're going to be having guests on our next off day throughout the off season. You get priority questioning, and your comments will always be read on the live streams. Let's get that started. Paul says, let's go. Great win today. It was a team win today. the definition of a team win was what the New York Mets did today. I'm excited because we showed today we don't just need the long ball to win. We won with clutch hits, something we haven't seen all season long, amongst the worst in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position. We came through in the clutch, not the whole game, but then we did. Leo says, Candy might be done for the season. Shaking my head, but great win. And let me put something to bed. I know it's been floated. We might have touched on it yesterday, but the Luis Roberts thing, I don't want him. I think the Mets are going to pivot to pitching, especially when you look at the prospects that might be ready to come up. Let's see what they do with Jet Williams. But with that said, Dan Bartels is joining you a little late to the program, but it's all good. Dan, how are we feeling about this win?
Let's go. Look who the cat dragged in, right? We finally dragged ourselves to get on this, and we had to because tonight was a huge win for the Mets. How about that? What were we saying last night, Ray? We sat here and we said, all you have to do is eat up the series. 2-2. It's not going to be pretty. The Mets' week from hell is over. Now we get to play a Pittsburgh team. Hopefully, Mets can sweep them. Don't want to get too hopeful. Griffin Canning going down, just brutal. I'm sure you addressed it already, but yeah, it's just better times ahead. And maybe McLean gets the opportunity, even though it'll probably be Tidwell.
And as the Mets interview our Metcast player of the game, here he is. How could it be anybody other than Pete Alonso? 3 for 4, Dan. And look, a lot of people were getting a little worried. He's been swinging at pitches out of the zone, but tonight he was locked in. The big RBI double, which I thought they were going to send Soto. Turns out they made the right decision because McNeil was able to come up in the clutch. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, Dan. And maybe you could add on to it. The reason why I love tonight's win so much, it was a team win. Canning goes down early. This team had every built-in excuse to fold. You had Austin Warren, who's not typically a major league pitcher, giving you those 2 1/3 solid innings, comes in right when Canning goes down, gets the immediate out as Pete salutes the crowd right there on the post game. Goes another 2 innings. Nunez looks like his old self today, something John Harper tweeted out during the game, looking like his old self. Hopefully he's back from that injury, firing away. Stanek with that straight fastball was able to get things done. Diaz and the Mets added on runs. We saw they got 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 2 in the 7th, courtesy of Jeff McNeil. But when Canning went down, it's a 0-0 game. The excuse was there. We're throwing guys that aren't major leaguers. Our bullpen's belittled. It's getting crushed. A ton of innings pitched. The guys are worrying about now going up to the plate. They're going to press to score runs. It was an overall team victory. And I'd rather these wins over the 7 home run wins, because this is character building. It's hitting with runners in scoring position, something we haven't done all freaking year. It's great to see. It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and shout out to Grant Holmes, too, for the Braves. He was spinning it to begin this game. The Mets had trouble, but they did break through. As you said, shout out Pete, shout out McNeil. We saw it against Philadelphia, too, when they went back-to-back in the later innings of that game, and they lost that game. But again, this one, you see the production from Alonso, and then you see it with the insurance with McNeil. It's good to see. Pete Alonso was talking to Evan and Tiki live from the Cadillac Club before the game today. They held their show, and it was just interesting to hear from Pete, mindset-wise, how he feels. He feels comfortable. The swings feel good. He feels intact. That's a scary sign, because this is a guy who can win MVP. He's shown the numbers to back that up. Now he's definitely trailed off, but it's night like this that remind you, hey, he's still having a hell of a season, and you're going to pass Darryl before too long. I know you didn't get the long ball tonight. He hit that one off the wall, just missed it. But, hey, Pete Alonso swinging a hot stick.
And now I believe Philly's off tonight, right?
I think so.
So now we're officially 1 game up. So
Sounds
the Mets
right.
are, say it again?
Sounds right.
49-34 on the year. It's incredible the cushion they built early. You look at the win-loss streak coming into today. 3-7. Oh no, that's live. That's live. So we're a half game up right now because the streak says 2. 3-7 over your last 10. You look, but the run differential this year, you'd be shocked. The Mets are plus 65 this season in run differential. You look at teams like the Phillies and the Braves. The Braves are only plus 21, even though they're still below 500 as they move back to double digits, Stan. This is a crushing loss for them. They could not have only gained a game in the standings, but instead of it being 9 games out, if they win, they're 8 games out, feeling good. But now, because of the loss, they jump back to 10 games back. Think how crazy this is. Miami, who's having a terrible season, is only 2.5 games behind them. And that is with, when you look at these streaks, the Mets are in first place, have sole possession right now, where they're 3-7 over their last 10. The Phillies are 5-5 because they started losing after they beat up on us. But the Braves are 6-4. The Marlins are 6-4. All of these teams are at 500 or above. The Mets are well below. But because of that cushion they built early on with Soto not locked in, which he is clearly dead locked in right now. And let's not forget, I want to give David Stearns the reason why he needs to go out and address any issues with this team. If you're competing, you're at the top of the division. A lot of people were acting as if the sky was falling. I'm not going to say I thought the sky was falling, but I was definitely concerned. How could you not be? Because it was the put up or shut up week, and we got told to shut up. And today we shut up and we played as a team, which is great to see. But I want to show David Stearns, hey, if Griffin Canning's out and we have Mania coming back, we could still go out there and address the starting pitching, address another bat. But hey, Dan, Brett Beatty again on base tonight, 2 out of 4 times with a line drive hit. He seems to be coming around, playing solid at third base. Mauricio has the 1 for 4. That last out, if there's not a crazy one in, that's a home run. That is absolutely a home run. Good things to see as these guys get comfortable, and maybe, just maybe, and that's why I said I think Stern's going to hold off to the trade deadline on July 30th. You got to see what you have in these guys, and I'm glad to see Mendy is not giving up and running these guys out there. Now, here's the real question, and something that I would love to get your opinion on, and you guys in the comments, let me know. Vientos is back tomorrow. I fear they're going to start him at third, and Beatty's going to head to the bench as he's hot over his last. He had 5 hits in his last 3 games. Now he's 2 for 4 today because he's on base 2 times. So he's on base 7 times in his last 4 games. Finally starting to feel it. My biggest fear is that Mendoza's going to yank him, throw him on the bench, or even throw Mauricio on the bench. They're both playing well, and you're playing against a bad Pirates team. What better way to have your young guys feel good going to Pittsburgh? Shout out to Andy, the angry Albanian, who will probably be there, my guy. You got to beat up on this Pittsburgh team, but go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, Beatty using the whole field, but really up the middle for him, which has been great to see. A sign of a guy who's locked in. Yes, they're spraying it to all fields. Lefties are going over the shortstop's head, but if you're going right up the middle, you are locked dead in. And Brett Beatty seems to be that way. We've said that for a couple of days now. He's definitely turned a corner. It's a question, right? And Mauricio putting a lot of pressure on this Mets team to make a decision when you have Vientos activated tomorrow. And Jared Young definitely would be the other name to consider. There's really nobody else at this point. Those are the two. And if you ask me, I don't know if Mauricio has done enough. I think tonight was a big night for him. Yes, he gets the single, but that's all he had. He was 1 for 4. The only thing that could work for his favor is he's still hitting. He's had a good couple of games, but he's been splintering these bats. He's been making good contact, getting his hands in to make sure he gets the barrel to the ball, and that's what sometimes causes these bats to break. The home run he hit yesterday, the 3rd of the year, sounded like broke off his bat. So he's doing something right, and the Mets are looking at both Jared Young and Ronnie Mauricio, and they have a decision to make. And Travis Jankowski getting in the game today too, a left-hander who could play the outfield, play a little bit. Like, this is a guy who kind of matches up to what they're looking with Jared Young. So It's really up in the air right now. I would still say that they're probably going to send Mauricio down, given everything we've seen from Mets who have success or get a little bit of confidence. Even Pintaro, the stuff was there last night, and he gets sent down, and that's just the way it goes. So I think it'll be Mauricio, but don't be surprised if it's Jared Young.
I'm going to skip the line really quick. I'm starring some of your guys' comments so I can get to them. There's so many comments here. Appreciate you guys chiming in every night. We've been here every night with you guys, and most of you guys have been here with us. You guys all know who the OGs are, but Hebrew right here stole the thunder, what we were going to talk about. Just call up McLean. Now, here's the interesting point, Dan. All I see people forwarding me today in my DMs, Ray, look, Acuna, lights out in AAA is where everybody hits. Beatty averages 400. Mauricio hits 400. Acuna looks like his brother in the minor leagues.
Right.
But the fact that McLean is doing what he is doing in a non-hitter friendly division in AAA where the ball flies all over the place, that's what's so impressive. I think he's got to be within a week. He might be the Canning replacement. I understand some people are going to say, well, it's probably going to be Blade Tidwell, who, let's be honest, was solid his last outing. Nothing great, but he was throwing hard. He might get the first shot, but I think McLean is knocking on that blue and orange door.
He has to be, right? We preach prospect development. There's no denying what McLean has done, and he needs to be called up. Whether it's sooner or later, he's going to be on this team eventually. And I don't want to say an injury is the reason he's up here, but hey, a reason that might be the reason he's up here. So it's between him and Tidwell, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I think what has Tidwell started since he's gone down? Do we know?
I think he might have had a start in there. Let's see.
All right, let me pull some of these comments while you're looking that up. Let's get to Dan's comment. And just like that, back in first place and still currently have the tiebreaker over the Phillies. It's wild what baseball can do for us, folks. That's why we always say it's a long season. Every team seems to go through those ruts. Now, I need to see us take this series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. No excuses. What, you have the stats?
He is not. Yeah, Tidwell is not made a start.
Okay. Thomas says, wash the series against Atlanta too, so they gain no ground. D says 2 in a row? ? I know. It's almost
miracle.
We're 4 into it. Just a few years ago, remember, we didn't lose the series until like August. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Dan follows up. The bullpen was great tonight. Nunez was great. Austin Warren was perfect. Got to keep him on this team. I'm not too sure with that last point. We've seen that a lot where, especially against the Mets, I mean, we've all seen it. A young guy comes up. There's not a really good book on him, Dan. He has success. We'll see where the Mets view him.
Seen that too much this year. Davinsky to Warren to a guy like, Hageman. Waddell got sent down, and the Mets really don't have a lefty. That's the only reason he's here. But yeah, any of these guys could be sent down. Any of them.
I'll tell you this. Don't be surprised. I'll hold on to that thought. Mm-hmm. Paul says, I feel Canning is likely done for this season. Painful. I agree. Tim writes, Will Canning avoid undergoing season-ending ankle surgery? It's not going to be ankle. I think it's the Achilles. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the calf popped. I'm no doctor, but you see those videos, and it's very similar to all the names that I'm about to say. The Kevin Durant's, the Aaron Rodgers, the Tatum's, the Lillards. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep. Austin Warren from Phillip. That is right. What a saver that was. Paul says, need Mendy back up. Then your camera cut out. Might have to restart. I'll wait for you. Follow up with Dan. It's unfortunate with Canning, but I think they'll be fine. Minaya and Senga are close. Senga's a true look. The ground ball to first. I don't care if the second baseman's got to cover that. I don't want him running all over the place. That's the last thing I want. Montas is saying are close. Hopefully McGill can be decent. Maybe it's time to bring up McLean or Sproat. I got to look up Sproat and his recent numbers. I haven't taken a big look at his recent numbers. Goomba, biggest win of the year so far. Let's effing go. I will say, if we lose that game, that would really stink. It would really stink. Thomas writes, nice job by Warren. Warren's probably going to be a long man here. And David Stearns touched on it, the shuffling that this team has had to do in regard to the bullpen. It's incredible how many guys they've had to bring up. Box says, Mets have been showing energy these past 2 games. Let's keep it going. It's the home crowd. Place is loud. It's rocking. And if you heard what Ronnie said during the game, when Lindor was up, he said, this has got to be the loudest I think I've ever heard this crowd sing My Girl. So that's what's good about that. Frankie writes, big win. That's right. Lewis, thanks for checking in, my guy. I hope this gets us back on track. It better. You're facing a terrible Pirates team. I mean, let's take a look at the standings right here. The Pirates are dead last in the Central. They're 3-7 over their last 10. They have a 2-game losing streak. They are 32-50, which makes them 18 games under 500 with a .390 win percentage. Their run differential on the year is -68, and the Mets are +65, nearly a 130-point swing right there. There's zero excuses for the Mets to not take this series, and dare I say sweep. You look at the Pirates, they're a terrible away team. They're an okay home team, 20-21, but we all know our New York Mets are really good at home, 29-12 and 19-22. It's time to juicing up. This is a part of the schedule where the Mets need to juice up. There's no excuses in regard to that. Frankie writes, Luis Roberts is injury prone. Don't need him. I agree with you. He's not only injury prone, Frankie, he's hitting 180, 185 on the White Sox. And I don't want to hear change of scenery. The White Sox are going to want a very good prospect in return. He's got a club option for $20 million. I am good. No, thank you. Him and Jose Siri are practically the same player. The difference is one's making $20 million and the other one is not. Very simple. What was all the worrying about? Diaz said in the playoffs clinching game last season. We got this from Kevin. That's great. That was a perfect one, Kevin. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I don't want to hear about the DeGrom stuff. Don't even bring the DeGrom stuff up in the chat. Chris, smash that like button. Amen. Appreciate you, Chris. That's what I like to see. Got to smash the like button if you're enjoying the content. If you're not, don't. But again, we have those member passes. We have a lot of people. We're growing that community. I'm working on building that Discord for our members exclusively, something that I've wanted to have for a while, but I only want to do it when it is right. And things are going great.
May I say something, Ray?
Sure.
One, I don't know what's good with my connection, guys. Sorry about that at home. I heard the Luis Roberts stuff. I tend to agree with you, Ray, as much as it is tantalizing and bringing in a talent like that. It's too much risk. And talking about risk, heard a bunch of stuff. Evan Roberts keeps floating it. Gary Cohen keeps mentioning it on the broadcast. And they asked Howie Rose today about DeGrom. And he had the same kind of thing that you've been saying, where he just doesn't want to come back, and it's more so the money and too much risk. And it makes a lot of sense. It's a narrative out there. And until someone gets in front of a microphone with Jacob DeGrom and says, are you willing to waive your no trade? And he says no, then this is going to continue to be a conversation. But John Heyman, for the ones who do believe him, and I am a big believer in the great John Heyman, he did say that Jacob DeGrom, it's not going to happen. So
DeGrom's a big family person. He's got kids in school down there. Hate him or not, from what I was told from my sources, he did not like his children being in the New York school system. He's got a different political philosophy than most in New York, especially in the city. If you guys catch my drift, I'm not telling you anything left or right, whatever. I'm just saying that's what I heard. He feels different. He wanted to go to a more conservative leaning state. What bigger state than Texas that's conservative? That or Florida. and he enrolled his kids in school down there, and that was a big part of it. So I don't see him waiving his no trade to come up here and play while his family's down there in Texas. I think that was a final career move for him. He's going to be getting paid a ton of money until he's 49 years old. Our luck, we would get him. He would get injured. If I'm going to spend $48 million, especially with the luxury tax payment, you're paying him $90 million on the cap if you were to bring him in right now. I think we could use those resources somewhere else. Maybe another frontline starter that doesn't cost as much, a Sandy Alcantara, who's making $20 million and is much younger, wouldn't probably cost as much, I'm assuming. And I feel we still need one of those bats coming off the bench. So if DeGrom was the final piece move, I'd be more open to it. But for me, he's not.
Right.
D, let's smash that like button, boys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody just tell me Dan's wrong in the comments about Luis Roberts. I just love no. Kai says road trip to Pittsburgh tomorrow for the series. Kai, do me a favor. If you're over on X, shoot me a DM with some photos, or if you want to tag us, I'd be happy. You've been a longtime supporter of our channel. To retweet them, let the fans know where you're at. That is a die-hard thing to do. I want to get to Pittsburgh so bad. I heard the stadium is gorgeous. I was actually planning on going to Pittsburgh this year, and now the wife's pregnant again, so that went out the window. Another girl on the way. Let's see what Guma says. I'd rather keep Mauricio, but think they want him getting regular at bats and figure out breaking pitches. I agree. I think that's why Acuna went down. But Dan, if I wake up tomorrow and Jared Young is in this effing lineup, I'm going to go crazy. I mean, you can't say we're no longer 9-1 with him in the lineup. He just stinks, flat out stinks.
Yep, needs to be better.
Do you have the pitching matchups for tomorrow? You want to pull those up really quick?
Do it, and then we'll get to the trivia if you want to do that tonight. We can
Sure
take it for tomorrow. Up to you guys. But yeah, tomorrow is the great David Peterson, the best pitcher for the Mets this year, going up against a trade target that we've brought up here on Metcast, Mitch Keller. So that's a great matchup for you at home. So that'll be good. Friday night Mets. No Apple TV or anything to worry about. Right on SNY. We didn't have Keith tonight, which also is unfortunate.
We don't get Keith a lot now, which really stinks.
Yeah. So I wanted to get to this question because
all right, hold on. Let me preference it.
Yes, go right ahead.
Guys, I'm a man of my word. We'll be giving away one of Alvarez's rookie Marvel cards. Here it is. Nice. It's got the shine. Whoever gets this question first, and we're not going to ask the question. We're going to give it 5 minutes. Only answers on YouTube because there's way too many platforms. We got Instagram, you got X, you got Facebook, you got YouTube. You have everybody chiming in. We're not going to catch it. So only on YouTube. So if you want to get entered into this giveaway, and most of our audience right now is over on X. There's not a ton of people over on YouTube, say about 40 or 50 people. Your chances are pretty damn high to get this right. I will ship this out Monday morning because I'll be at work all day tomorrow. So Monday morning, I will ship this out to the winner. So if you want to take a second and head on over to YouTube, we will ask this question at 10:25 in 6 minutes. Fair enough?
That's perfect.
Dan, make it a good one. Craig says Jet needs to be our center fielder. What has he been up to lately?
I think he regressed a little bit.
Which to be expected.
But you look at his numbers right now in the minor leagues, and
still an 899 OPS.
Yeah, 230.
Still hitting 291 too. Exactly that. He's got a 399 on base. It was a 401, so it dropped a couple points.
Yeah.
21 stolen bases, 6 homers. I mean, you look 230 at bats. If you were to progress that, it's pretty much a 3x on the year. So he's 18 home runs. I mean, he's leading off, so it's hard to judge the RBIs. So right around 70 RBIs. He's averaging 63 stolen bases, about right around that. I mean, I would take that in a heartbeat.
I think
in a heartbeat.
I think the Mets ran into an issue because they brought up a guy like Acuna, who a lot of us look at and say, all right, Jet Williams, similar profile. You can make the case that, of course, he's the steadier player. He can definitely play more than Acuna, which is big, and be more consistent, run the bases a little bit better. But equally, we're looking at apples to apples here when you're comparing the type of player Jet Williams is versus the type of player Luis Angel Acuna is. And I think that the Mets realized, they looked at Acuna and they said, hey, this kid's great, but he's only great in certain instances as a pinch runner. Maybe he gets an opportunity at second, center field, but there was really no playing time for him to break through. And that's the worry for me, bringing up a guy like Jet Williams. Where's he going to play? And who's he playing over, and how much playing time is he going to get? And can he keep the playing time? He could steal all the bases in the world. You play him over a full season, he's swiping 50. But if you want the best production, he's going to be a pinch runner. And that's probably what he's going to be limited to in a playoff situation. So Jet Williams sounds great, Ray. I just don't know what.
You think his back would be better than Tyrone Taylor right now?
I do, but I don't think that really means much because
I agree, and I don't.
It's too
if
crowded.
Siri's going to be out long term, I think it's something you need to look into. I mean, hell, they pull up pitchers from AA. It wouldn't be the first time it would happen. He's very highly thought of, and one thing that might get him to the majors way quicker and stay here more than Acuna, the eyes are just totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, Acuna is a free swinger. Williams is the exact opposite. Very patient at the plate.
I think Taylor's feeling the heat. You saw a rare error by him today in center field. That doesn't happen often. I think he's feeling the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. That was very strange, that error. Good thing it didn't happen in a big spot.
It wasn't anything yet.
Michael says, Young in the lineup is getting old. I could not agree more with you. It's great to see Citi Field packed, Dan says. You know what? And that's what's good. In the midst of, them not playing as well, the stadium's still packed out. I'll be there at least once next week. I might be going 2 or 3 times. My dad's in town, big Mets fan who made me a Mets fan when I was a kid. And he's coming up from Florida. I told him take him there for Father's Day. Actually, I didn't tell him, but if he's watching now, he knows. But I'm trying to go Thursday. I got invited to go Tuesday. Shout out to James of Mets Cove. That's when my in-laws are coming in. My wife would, let's just say, not be terribly happy. Hello, honey. And maybe over the weekend. I mean, we'll see. But I got to get to more games. I went to a game a couple weeks ago, sat on the party deck. Guys, if you could ever go to an experience, the party deck is a sick experience. Shout out to my guy, Pat Dunn, and the East Islip Fire Department, who we went with, a group of 30 of us. The seats are like my chair I'm sitting in now. Soft, cushiony. There's no one to your left or right. Plenty of arm room. You got the stand in front of you. It's unlimited food, unlimited drinks. Yes, it includes alcohol. I don't drink, but yes, it includes alcohol. Overall, tremendous experience. So if you could ever experience that party deck, I would absolutely give it a shot. Steve Cohen saved the Mets. You know what's interesting that comes up, Dan? I keep thinking Luis Roberts would be such a Will Pontian move. Get the guy, it's cheap. The club option after this year, so you could decline it and throw the money away. Pray for an upside. This is Steve Cohen. I don't want guys that I'm praying that they turn the clock back 2 years. I mean, that's like that is like the Orioles trading for Jeff McNeil and hoping he becomes a batting champion of 2020. That's how I look at that.
Yeah.
Goomba writes, DeGrom isn't a New York guy. He's happy in Texas like I am in North Carolina. Left the city 6 years ago. Couldn't pay me to go back. As somebody who works in Manhattan, couldn't agree more. Mr. Basic, no state income tax, fellas. That's a big thing, too. $48 million. What's the tax on that? That's got to be, what, $5-6 million bucks at least? And we may say, oh, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge thing. But to these guys, it is. It's a huge thing. Huge. We got 1 more minute, and we're going to be announcing the question for the giveaway exclusive to our YouTube audience. Dan's going to be asking a question. I could see him sifting right now. Like the slithery snake to find that question. Will be giving away that Francisco Lindor card. I'll be giving away a bunch of my cards. I got duplicates of so much things here. I got a number of Nimmo's cards. I just pulled this the other day. How about that? Vintage Jose Reyes game worn patch. I didn't get to put it away in my binder yet, but we'll be doing a lot of giveaways. It's a way that we could give back to you, especially our members. I'm thinking about it. We might start doing exclusive member giveaways. It's something we did with the Jets in our Discord, and it was awesome. We are giving autographed jerseys, helmets, used gloves, cleats, you name it, things we were giving away over there. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. A lot of people got involved. It created a sense of community. Mets fans talking about Mets and other things in life, and it was a really good community. So that's something I'm looking forward to starting over here with our members. Guma says, look what they did today. No one with money gonna want to come here. That's why Cohen has to overpay. They insane here. I wouldn't say that. I think Soto was going to the highest bidder regardless. I think Pete wanted to come back. I understand we paid him $30 million, but supposedly he had more money on the table from Toronto, which Toronto's not much different. I understand what you're saying, but I think it's a different perception when it comes to baseball. There's nothing like winning in New York, in my opinion. What about Seth Lugo and Steven Matz? I don't want Steven Matz. What is Seth Lugo up to lately? Do we know?
He's pitching decent.
4-5 with a 2.93 ERA. Another guy we missed the boat on, huh?
Right. I didn't realize 2.93 now. That's still very good. Under 3.
Oh, 2.93, sure.
Very
Let's
good.
see. So he signed a 3-year, $45 million deal. This has got to be the last year, right? Okay, so he's got he's going to opt out after this year. He's 35 years old, $15 million on the Royals, and he has a $15 million player option for next year. I would entertain it for the right price. He's 35. It's probably not going to cost you an absolute ton. It's almost like a Sean Manaea type player, right? You add him as your number 3. You go Senga, Manaea, him. Actually, I lied. Senga, Manaea, Peterson, him. I could see something like that if it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. This is where we're going to find out what David Stearns is about. Is he going to go big fish hunting when it's time to, like this year, when you're going for it all clearly? Or is he going to hold on to his prospects? I think we're going to find out a ton about David Stearns very shortly. I know Hebrew, you said, why would he come back? I don't think he's got a no trade. I doubt he does. He's making $15 million a year. Goomba says, lucked out, no Skeens. Wednesday get no hit.
Lucky.
Omar says, Mauricio has to stay. He can get playing time at second base with McNeil in center field, and he's the only backup shortstop. Well, if he gets playing time at second, that's where Beatty's going to go. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but the Mets are going to continue to give Mark Vientos a shot at third base. They're desperate for him to work out at third base for some reason. Mendy spoke about it. Do you have the question yet, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, if we can go to that whenever, right?
I'm gonna make another graphic.
I went really
tough. Trivia.
This is really tough, and probably for the older audience. And I could always pull a younger one.
One guess.
This is gonna be a tough one, guys.
If nobody gets it, then we'll say guess again.
Okay, and we tap into the younger audience as well. Come on, definitely represent that generation, but we respect our elders here at Metcast, so we definitely
love Goomba and them. Yep,
love you guys at home. All right, in 1973.
Oh God, I'm out.
Mets went to the World Series against the A's. Outfielders Don Hahn and George Theodore collided. Now, it's a very memorable collision, I'm sure, for people who remember. Which Atlanta Braves player hit that ball? So again, 1973, Don Hahn, George Theodore, they collide. Very memorable moment, Mets history. Which Atlanta Brave hit that ball? I'd be very shocked if anyone just knows this off the top. And again, you had to be there type thing. So, we'll see. If not, we'll get an easier question. No big deal. But testing the waters here at Metcalf. People saying,
we're going to do another segment as well.
Wow.
Comment of the day, Dan.
we have answers already. So I just want to get this out of the way. People saying Hank Aaron, Keith and Hebrew. No. Good answer, though. Frankie _1123. And Paul, you were right as well, but second on my screen.
Yeah,
Ralph,
Frankie got it first.
Frankie, Ralph Gar. Well done.
What are the Frankie, do me a favor at Metcast Pod on X. Go over there. Comment below on our live stream. There'll be a post here. I'll pin it right now. And if you don't have X, you can contact us over on Facebook, but I prefer X. I'll pin it right now. Just comment. You're the winner, and then I could direct message you and get your shipping information.
He Googled that, people say. I see people saying Gar, so shout out Chris, Dan Marino.
Hey, if you don't got quick fingers, you're out.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? You're out, but it won't be the last one.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe. I like this Reyes card, but maybe we'll save this for a special one. That's why you got to join us in the post game, because we will be doing random trivia. I'm like, my Soto jersey. No, get the hell out of here. That ain't going nowhere. That ain't going nowhere. Soto jersey's staying here for life. That was a good guess. That was a good guess.
Very well done. People saying he misspelled it. Well, you know,
the intent was there.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's viewer discretion on that one. Oh, that's tough.
We'll give it to the official Dan Bartels.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Next time I'm gonna direct Dan. Keep it within the last decade.
Yeah, no, I got
okay?
you. Yeah, I got you.
73. I was born 30 years later, or 20 years later. I don't want to date myself too much, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Dan, you have any closing remarks? I'm gonna try to open tomorrow, guys. I've been getting up crazy early for work. I was up at 3:30 this morning. I was not gonna do the post game, but I'm on here for you guys. I got to be up tomorrow again at 3 o'clock. So any final words from you, Dan?
Great win. Always a great day when the Mets win. Definitely need to keep it rolling going into Pittsburgh. Hopefully this team has a sense of motivation now, and they're ready. They're hungry. And you know we are too. So, Ray, as always, this was a great live, and be back maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, guys, this was our first trivia giveaway. And I plan on keep doing it. It was a lot of fun. You guys support us here. You come and hang out. We have a lot of members. Again, if you're enjoying this content, like it, maybe share it with a friend. Let's help expand the channel. Consider becoming a member over on YouTube or on Facebook. And as always, everybody, let's
go Mets.
Come
on, let's go, baby.
Peace out, everybody. Woo!